Well, welcome again to Wednesday Web Chat. This is Carl Lewis, your host from Vision 33. And today, my special guest is Sarah Humphreys. And Sarah is going to be talking to us about Vision 33 portals. Just some announcements before we begin the presentation today. As you know, there is a new SAP Business One user guide available. You can find it from Amazon and SAP Press. Our Customer Resource Center is always available to you with all kinds of information about SAP Business One, just about whatever you're looking for. Especially helpful if you are of the sort that likes to do self-help, and a good place to start resolving issues under any circumstances. And part of that is the Crystal Reports training series, which you can access free of charge. So there are 8 lessons, and you can go through them at your own pace. They're all video-based. A new recommended version of SAP Business One for both those who are running Microsoft SQL databases and those running SAP HANA databases, and that is version 10, Feature Pack 2305 Hotfix 1. That's the official Vision 33 recommended upgrade patch, or that's what we've probably put new customers on as well. If you do plan to upgrade, please check with Total Care. They will try to do their best to keep you out of trouble. There are always with every version, there's some known things to be cautious of, so they will help you be cautious. And join me every other week on the Connected Enterprise podcast. You can find it just about every place that podcasts are posted, and you'll also find it on iTunes. So today, my good friend Sarah Humphreys, channel partner manager, is here with us today and going to talk to us about Vision 33 portals. Sarah, I'm going to stop sharing here and allow you to share your screen.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carl. Well, thank you so much for that warm welcome. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here with you. I'm really excited to show you more about Vision 33 portals and how you can put SAP Business One data at your customer and employee fingertips. So for those of you who aren't familiar with me, I am Vision 33's partner manager. I've been here about 6 years, and I love talking about Vision 33 products and solutions. And today I'm here to talk about our portals for SAP Business One. So we have 2 portals. One of those is the customer portal as well as the employee portal, and it allows us to share information with those subsets. So we can share customer data as well as employee information from SAP Business One. So customers want answers. And when they can't access the data they need themselves, they call or email customer service or their sales rep. I'm sure you've heard some of these questions before. When will my order come? How much was my last invoice and when is it due? What was my last order discounted at? What's my order history? Which service tech came out last time? How many of this product do I have in stock? So all of those questions can be answered through our customer portal. With the customer portal, we can provide 24/7 self-service access to SAP Business One data, resulting in reduced administrative work from all those inbound requests, ultimately improving your order to cash process, as well as that order accuracy. And then we all want that customer satisfaction. So by giving the data to your customers, that will most definitely improve that relationship with their customer. And then finally, it will give you more time to sell and service your high value customers. So at a high level, before we jump into the demonstration, I wanted to give you a few tidbits about some of the features that we have for the customer portal. So by giving secure access to customer portal data, you can allow your customers to view their order data, billing history, payment history. They can track their shipments and their deliveries. They can look at reports on your inventory, look at their outstanding balances, and then ultimately come through and view any service call details. There's also some functionality where they can communicate to your SAP Business One, where they can create sales quotes, they can submit orders, they can make payments online via an AR invoice, through a credit card or ACH payment. And then finally, they can submit service calls to the service call module. So without further ado, I'll jump over to my demo environment and we'll give you a look at the customer portal in action. So my goal for today is to give you a high-level run-through of the day in the life of one of your customers interacting with your business through the customer portal. As you can see here, I have my own unique username and password, which you give me through the add-on within SAP Business One. The background imagery here as well can be modified to reflect your business, as we're often hyperlinked off of your main website. When the customer logs into the customer portal, they'll see data that's relevant to the way they do business with you. So as your particular customer, I'll see my orders and my quotes. I'll only be able to see the invoices for myself as well as my payments. So all of this data is specifically targeted towards that particular user. And with that, this connection to your SAP Business One database is in real time. So as you're updating delivery details or someone has submitted an order through SAP, for example, that data will reflect in the portal automatically. So for the customer, that means they have real-time access to the information that they need to do business with you. As you can see here on the main page, we have some dashboard widgets where you can display queries from SAP Business One to share information with your customers. For example, we have information around orders, quotes, invoices, payments, credit memos, as well as delivery notes. With access to those particular quotes, deliveries, orders, and so on from this page. So hyperlink, the customer can easily come through and access the information that they need to see. So for example, here's a quote that I had submitted previously. And if I wanted to come through and reorder that or requote that, I can easily come through and copy that to a new order or copy that to a new quote. If at any point the status of the document is still open and I need to make some changes, I can come through and edit that as well. So just giving the customer the flexibility to modify any orders and reorder from you on a regular basis. So as we come back, you'll see here as well, there is a menu structure. And for the customer, I already have a few favorites saved to the left-hand column, and they can really personalize the way that they interact with the customer portal. So for myself, working with your organization, I want to easily come through and see the way to place a quote, to look up my deliveries, to pay my outstanding balances, and then I have a report saved as well so that I can look at any order details. So first and foremost, I'm going to come through and show you an example of how you place an order. So I showed you just now how you can reorder, but if I wanted to come through and place a new order, I hit the place order button. That brings me to the order pad where I can request the delivery date, the specific billing and shipping, fill in any PO details, any special instructions. And then if we look down at the order pad, you can see here that the order pad is reflecting the items from my item master. So I'm going to come through and add a couple of different options here just to show you what it looks like from the ordering perspective. And of course, you can pick and choose on a line item basis which ship to location you need. So I'm going to adjust the quantity, and you'll see here that it automatically adjusts the line total for me. And then same goes for the second item. And then if we scroll down here, you'll see as well that I can select from the various shipping methods that you've allotted for me to choose from. And then if I can think of anything to add here, I'll add in some notes, but for now I'll say thanks. And then when we refresh the totals, it will share any special pricing that you have for me. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and submit the order. And once that order has been placed, I can come through and review that in my order summary. I can print a copy or save as a PDF file for my records. And then from the SAP side, it automatically comes through as a sales order. So we'll take a look at that from the SAP side. So those two items that I have placed an order for are already in my SAP Business One, ready for me to action. So from there, I'm just going to show you the order to cash flow. So I'll go ahead and copy that to a delivery. And then if we have any tracking details, we can pull that information in and update that data. Oh, we have negative inventory. Let's go ahead and delete that line. Maybe we'll add a new one in its place. There we go. So here we have that delivery with the tracking detail. So now if we go back to my deliveries report through the customer portal, and we see the ship date of September 13th, we can drill in on that delivery detail And I can see the shipping reference. I can see that there's been an item adjustment and then the order details here as well. And then just like SAP Business One, we also share any related documents. So if I need to, I can go back and look at the order that originated from this particular document. Finally, I'm going to go ahead and copy that delivery to an invoice so you can see what it looks like to come through and make that payment. So I've created the invoice in SAP. And again, in real time, that comes through to the customer portal where I have the invoice 467 here. You can highlight all four, or you can highlight just one. You can make a payment on a particular invoice, or you can come through and make a payment on account. In the US, we have the option to come through and make an ACH payment, and then we have the credit card payment option as well. So I'll go through and demo a credit card payment. Very simple form where the customer fills in their credit card details, expiry, oopsies, and then their address. So as you can see here, it's highlighting the amount to pay. If I change my mind at any point, I can go back by hitting change selections. And then before submitting, I can review here the documents that were selected with the amount that I'm paying. So I'll go through and submit that payment. You can see here the success screen shows me the transaction reference, which when we come through to SAP Business One and look at the incoming payment, here we are. We have that $500 payment on the invoice. And if we look at the relationship map, you'll see the entire order to cash flow. So we have the incoming payment against the AR invoice. And then if we look at the AR invoice, we have the order, delivery, invoice, and payment all tied together. So again, just really helping to automate the relationship with you and your customer, giving them the tools that they need to do business with you, make an order, view their delivery details, pay on their invoices, and that all comes through to your SAP Business One in real time with minimal input from yourself and your team. Finally, I'll touch on the service call module. So if you wanted your customer to be able to submit a service ticket with yourself, we have a form that allows the customer to send information to the service module in SAP Business One. So for example, they may want you to send a tech because something may be broken. They can set a priority and give a description. They can come through and also add an attachment. Maybe they have a picture of what's going on that they want to share with you. So when they submit that service call, again, very similar to the order functionality where it comes through as a service call ticket in SAP Business One. So again, just allowing you to communicate with your customer around what they need from you as an organization and giving them a web-based tool that they can access from anywhere, anytime to communicate with you. And then lastly, on the customer portal, I just want to share some details on our reporting capability. So the portal is a great way to communicate really any information that sits in SAP Business One with your customers. So we provide you with an order report, invoice, payment, and delivery report. And then you can create some pretty unique reports that, depend on how you interact with your customers. Maybe they want to see a pivot style report that talks about their orders from you quarter over quarter, year over year. It allows them to drag and drop data so they can see the information they need in the way that makes the most sense to them. They can come through, add in new data. They can also save different views and have multiple views of the same query. Maybe you want to share information around, let's say, your inventory, giving them the idea of what you have on hand, what's on order, your minimum and maximum stock, and your lead time. Again, just getting creative in, what kind of questions are you receiving from your customers, and how can we create a report that shares that on the web so they have easy access to it and don't have to call you or email you to get that information. So again, at a high level, Customer Portal allows your customers to interact with your business and your SAP Business One in a way that allows you to manage and automate the order to cash process, let them come through and make payments online, submit service tickets, and then view really any sort of data that sits in SAP Business One. So with that, I'm going to jump back as I do have another portal to show you, and that's our employee portal. So Vision 33 made an additional version of the portal that's more employee focused. So we wanted a way to share information with not only customers, but employees. So as your employee has information that they need to access from your SAP Business One, you won't have to give them an SAP Business One license. You just give them access to the employee portal through their employee master record in SAP. So I know within my organization, I need information regularly to make smart decisions when I'm working with my customers. So with that, through our employee portal, I can access information on my customers, anything that they've purchased, outstanding balances that they have due, really any kind of service ticket that they have submitted that I need to follow up on. And that really helps me to do my job better. So with that, we know our customers' employees have the same kind of questions and concerns. So maybe your IT team is super busy and they can't create these reports as fast as they're needed. And that means that your different lines of business don't have the tools they need to make fast business decisions. And even still, if they do create those reports for you, something might change and then that report becomes obsolete. We all know that, viewing reports require SAP Business One licenses. And then that can often come with any inefficient and error-prone processes. So by giving access to the employee portal, you give your employees real-time information at their fingertips. They can access this 24/7, they can access it on their mobile device, and they can have real-time information when they need it. So that really helps your business to eliminate your IT reporting and sales processing bottlenecks. It gives your employees the tools that they need to make real-time, fast, data-driven decisions. Makes your employees happier because they have the tools they need and they're more successful. And then we all love reducing our costs, so not necessarily requiring those SAP Business One licenses. So before we jump into the demo again, I just wanted to give you a few tidbits on the high-level features that we have for the employee portal. With the reporting capability, you can share really any kind of information that sits in SAP Business One. They're just queries at the end of the day, so you can create a report, publish it at the web in less than a minute. And there's no developer skills required. You can access the SAP Business One information from any browser. It's written in HTML5, so you can access it on a mobile device, tablet, what have you. And then your employees can also perform some sales-related activities. So there's a sales user module where they can create and manage leads, their customers, as well as create and manage opportunities. They can generate sales quotes and submit orders. They can also capture signatures at time of service as well as delivery. And then they can manage their sales tasks, notes, and attachments. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. So if I come back and we look at the employee portal, again, very similar functionality where I have my own unique username and password that's been given to me through the item master in SAP Business One. The background can be branded to reflect your business, so you can have an image related to your organization. And when I log in, I'm going to see information that is relevant to me as the employee. So here we have a dashboard that is pulling queries out of SAP Business One. This report in particular is going to be pulling in sales related data. So as you can see, sales in Canada, my recent sales orders, there's a trend, sales by rep, a geo map to show me where I'm doing the most sales, a funnel, and a few additional KPI reports. So again, you can get creative in the data you want to share here. You may have a sales team that you want to display your sales related information to. You may have people in your warehouse where you want to share information related to the warehouse. Maybe on the accounting side, you want to have additional information related to the accounts team. So you can have different dashboard reports by user. As you can see here, I have a sales exec dashboard. You can also have a sales manager dashboard that looks at all of your sales reps. So this is a great tool if you want your sales manager to have, regular meetings with the team, and then they have real-time access to the SAP Business One data that sits here, and then they can review that with their team on their weekly one-on-ones. So again, just giving your sales team and your staff real-time information that they need to make smart business decisions. So with that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about some reporting. Again, we have some scenarios around service, warehouse, purchasing, customers, accounting, and system, and they're just queries. So if you come through and you see here, there's a a report that talks about the deliveries in the last 30 days. If I want to come through and look at purchasing, I can see the item's stock status. I can come in and sort by what I have the most of, what I have the least of, what's on order, what's available, and so on. In terms of your accounting, you may want to look at overdue invoices. So again, just pulling queries out of SAP Business One and publishing them to a web in a meaningful way that shows your employees what they need to see to do their job day to day. So that's the employee portal, and it allows you to have an unlimited number of your employees accessing the web to view as many reports as you can provide them. Now with the sales user functionality, it gives you more of a CRM style. And with that, they can come through and they can add new leads. So as your sales team is working with prospective clients and they want to add those clients or prospective leads into SAP Business One, here's a short form where we come through and require you to fill in, the basic level detail of what's required on a business partner record. So I'll come to the customer search and you can see here, these are all of my customers and leads. And I'll go through and give you an example of one that's already been created. So here you can see the customer name, the website, phone contact details, address details, whether they have 1 or 2 locations, it'll show up on the map. And then we also have quick add. So as your staff is working with this client, they can come through and add any meetings, tasks, notes, and activities. So I'll drill in on an example here so you can see. They can add an activity type, a subject, task, so on and so forth. And these are all tied to the related activities on the business partner record. If they're associated with a particular opportunity, again, you can tag that to that opportunity and then specify the contact. And if you have any notes, maybe you have estimates that you've provided or images of product and specifications that you wanted to include here, it's a great place to do so. Same goes for meetings and any notes. This allows you to track everything that you are doing with this particular customer in one location, and it has the ability to tie back to SAP Business One so that management has access to that as well. If you look up at the top here, you can see that we have quick links. So opportunities, open orders, open invoices, open quotes, deliveries, and popular items. So if we look at open opportunities, I have one here that's open for Ashley Farms, and I'll drill in on an example and click edit so you can see a bit more detail. So as your staff and your sales team is working through opportunities with a particular prospect, you can define what the stage of that opportunity is, when you expect it to close, the percentage of closing, as well as any remarks. If you'd like to split it out by territory, propose a price list, what the amount is, who the contact is, what their interests are. I find this one quite fascinating where you can gather retail information from your employees on the street where they can specify, okay, in this opportunity, they wanted 6 items, but then, at time of sale, they only purchased 2. So then we can look back and say why, maybe we're not promoting this item as often, or there's no marketing around this detail. So just giving you more information from your sales staff. You can also tie in a quote. So we'll pull in quotes from SAP Business One. And then if you have any industry detail, we can put that in there as well. And so when we're looking at our opportunities, there's an opportunities dashboard where we come through and I can see all of my opportunities by sales rep, what's closing this year at all stages. If I wanted to be more granular, of course I could. But as you can see, it highlights, what stages are within my sales cycle. It totals the amount of opportunities I have in each stage. And then as I'm working through those opportunities, we can come through and drag and drop them. So just managing your opportunities and your sales has gotten so much easier, and it's connected to SAP Business One. So you have full visibility as to what your sales team is doing from an SAP Business One perspective as well. And just to highlight as well, I know we talked a little bit about tasks and notes and so on. They're easily accessible from here too. This one's slightly overdue. And I know we're getting a little short on time, so I'm just going to go ahead and place an order so you can see what that looks like. So very similar to the customer portal, we can come through and select a user. We can pull in data from the item master. In the employee portal, it actually tells me how many units I have available. So as a salesperson, I can ensure that I have enough stock available. It also gives me the opportunity to come through and add a percentage discount. Of course, you can set maximum so your sales team isn't just giving out crazy discounts. You can add any text, anything you want to communicate to SAP Business One. And then if we scroll down here, you can see it allows you to choose shipping and billing, as well as the different shipping methods. And then when we refresh totals, that will also pull in any discounts, any special pricing that we have for this particular customer. And then we'll go through and submit that order. And again, if we go to SAP Business One and we look at the sales order here, you can see any notes that were provided, what the detail of the order is, any discounts, all coming through in real time. So you're giving your sales team access to SAP Business One through the web so that they can do their job easier. They can place orders on their mobile device from their car after they would, have had an on-site visit. So just really giving your staff the tools that they need to do business. So with that, I want to ask Carl if there's any questions that has come through on the chat box there.
I have a couple, Sarah. First, someone was asking in the employee portal, can, this salesperson from a remote place see like, okay, what are my tasks today? What meetings do I have today? Do they have that kind of access to that information?
Yes, where those tasks, notes, activities, those sorts of items are coming through to SAP Business One, you can actually create a report that says, open tasks. And then your staff can log in each day and have that favorited as a menu entry and just use that as their to-do list.
Great. And is the customer portal able to be embedded within, what we can call an iframe so that customers can access this information from an existing B2B site?
I know we normally have been like a hyperlink on someone's website, but in terms of an iframe, let me take that one offline and ask the product team.
Okay. We'll try to get that answer back to this particular person who's asking. And then
Good question.
the last question I had was, when you process an order like this, does it pull in freight costs?
Pull in freight costs. Let's see. So if we look at existing orders here, yep. Not in this scenario because there is none, but it does have the option to do so.
So in the customer portal, it wouldn't necessarily predict the freight that a customer was entering, would it?
No, I believe you need to configure like a preset where you have different shipping based on the shipping method.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the amount would be.
So it's something that could be done.
Yes.
Probably not configured out of the box because customers have different freight systems that they work with.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then just an affirmation here. The question is, when an order is being placed, it does look at all the special pricing and contract pricing and discount stuff that's automatically in SAP Business One, right?
Correct. So it looks at whatever the price list they have on their business partner record is.
Yeah. So it follows, it's retrieving all of that data directly from Business One setup. Okay.
Yep.
Very good. I don't know. Maybe I might have one other. Let me see here. Yeah, once we've shipped the product, because it's in Business One, if we have Business One set up, after we've entered the freight, it can automatically notify the customer that it's been shipped and here's their tracking information, correct?
It will show up in the web so they can easily access through the portal. In terms of notifications, that's an SAP notification that you would just send out.
Yep. And the last question I have here is, you mentioned that, the reports and things are just queries. You don't have to create them special in Business One. If you already have some, those can just be put into the portal, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So if you have some, you can certainly reuse them.
Well, Sarah, that was great, and I think prompted a lot of questions. If folks do have additional questions, you should always reach out to your customer relationship manager at Vision 33. If you don't know who that is, you can drop me a line, carl.lewis@vision33.com, or you can reach out to sarah.humphreys@vision33.com. to get more information, and we'll be sure we point you in the right direction, no matter what.
Thanks so much,
So
Carl.
Hey, thank you, Sarah. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of Wednesday Web Chat today. We look forward to talking to you again on Wednesday Web Chat.